There are many different varieties of pepper, and the one that we know most commonly is the one that comes from the tropical climbing vine native to India. And this is what we see in pepper mills, your standard black pepper. Black peppercorns start off green, so the pepper vine will get a little spike of little berries growing on it. These will be harvested when they're green, put out in the sun to dry, and the enzyme reaction of the sun on the skin of the peppercorn will turn it black and create the volatile oil that gives black pepper its characteristic flavour. But you will have also noticed white pepper. So how do they make white pepper? Well, comes from exactly the same vine. If the berries are left on the vine, they will gradually ripen and turn from green to yellow to pink. When they're in that yellow to pink stage, they are harvested. They are put into hessian sacks or calico sacks, immersed in water for about a week, taken out of the water, macerated to rub the skin off, and remember, it's the skin that contains the enzyme, and then they're put out in the sun to dry. And that will give you white pepper, a very different flavour profile to black because it doesn't have that very oily pepper fragrance, but white pepper is actually hotter than black pepper. And white pepper is often used when you want to bring a pepper heat into a dish, but you don't necessarily want that black pepper flavour. You'll find it a lot in Japanese and Thai cuisine. You will also see dried green peppercorns. This is where the peppercorns have been harvested, and when they're fresh, they are either freeze-dried, which is a modern process which you will have noticed the chives that you buy are freeze-dried, for instance, and there are a number of other products that retains that lovely fresh green flavour. There are also peppercorns that are quite firm that have been produced for putting into pepper mills, and these ones have been boiled to kill the enzyme, and then they're dried, and these are a very firm little green peppercorn. You'll also notice there are pink peppercorns. True pink peppercorns you won't be able to buy dried because it's been very difficult to dry them. You will only be able to get them in brine, usually in a can or a little jar. They're put into brine because that prevents the enzyme reaction from turning the pink peppercorns black. They've never been able to successfully dry a true pink pepper, but you will see dried pink peppercorns. What's going on? Well, they're actually from a different tree. They're from a tree called Echinus terebinthifolius, which is native to Brazil. It's not a good idea to put these in a pepper mill, even though they look rather pretty in a glass or acrylic mill, because they have a friable husk and an oily centre, and they'll tend to clog the mechanism. They have a slightly juniper pine-like flavour and go very well with rich foods. You will sometimes see pink peppercorns on the gel on top of a pâté, and this is because it will balance beautifully with that. Then, of course, in America, you refer to chilies as peppers as well, so that does confuse people a little bit sometimes. In Australia, we tend to only use the term chili to describe all of the red peppers. But of course, not related, but the Spanish gave them chilies the name pepper because they were hot like pepper. And then there are many other varieties. There's a Chinese pepper, referred to often as Sichuan pepper or Sancho, and then there are some quite exotic ones that also come from Africa. So pepper is a very, very big world indeed.